that has to be the most unnecessarily long intro I think I've ever seen in a little indie fan game. I'm Brickroad. This is the Minitroid tech demo. This is a little, like, pixelated version of Metroid, which is kind of fun. It's not a full game. It is just a little tech demo for these guys to kind of show off the little Metroid world they've created. I love the look of this game. I think it is very, very cool. And I'm just going to run through it real quick. There's only a couple areas, there's only a few things to do, but we're going to go ahead and do everything, because why not, you know? So the first thing you do in Metroid is get the Morph Ball and work your way through the upper surface areas of the game, which is what I'm doing here. So I've only Let's Played one Metroid game in my long and storied Let's Play career. I did Super Metroid, and that's it, because really the series and I tend to not get along very well, which is too bad, because a lot of the games, they try their hardest, you know what I mean? But this little tech demo, I think you could really create something very interesting with it if you had a mind to. This particular game has a few flaws, which I'll point out as we go, but on the whole, is very cool. Worth playing. You should definitely check it out if you're into Metroid games, or, you know, even just little fan games that people make. Secret Passage. What? Everything in this game is scaled down to be played at, like, the smallest resolution possible. That's the whole gimmick of the game. And I don't know, is this the product of a question of, okay, how small of a window can we conceivably fit Metroid into? Let's let one of these little flea guys grab me here, so I can bomb them! It's okay, because there's an energy tank here. Very nice. Like, Samus herself is only like 11 or 12 pixels tall in this, and as you can see, the resolution is not even high enough for your energy to be rendered in numbers. You have like a little health meter up there instead. The first thing I noticed when I played this game, I think back in July-ish, maybe, was that it's very difficult. Like, getting hit by monsters, you will take a lot of damage. So you do have to, it took a long time to learn the game and get good at fighting and dodging the various kinds of monsters, which is not really something that I look for in a Metroid game, typically. Typically I like to focus on the exploration aspects of the game, which this tech demo is a little light on. There's not really a lot to find or a lot to explore. There's not a lot in the way of like hidden passages outside of just a few areas. But then again, there's not enough of the game really to get tired of just the action sequences. The action is just fine. So I'm probably going to do a one video run of this. It should only take me a few minutes. And then there's a boss fight at the end, and I think there's a recharge station over here. I actually made myself a little map of the game world as I was going along, just so I wouldn't have to backtrack very much. There's another energy tank down here, which I'll go get. In the water area. This is the only screen in the game that has water in it, which makes me wonder if they're going to add, like if they ever make a full game with this little engine, if they're going to do a water... Get out of this trap, Samus! What are you doing? Jeez. I've been in here all day. Come on. Come on. There we go. Good lord. But yeah, it makes me wonder if they're going to add, like, a full-fledged water section along... Ah! I got grabbed by an enemy crab. That's terrible. Full-fledged water section, or if they're going to do like a gravity suit kind of thing, because there are no suits in this. You just get a couple energy tanks, a couple missiles, and then some very basic upgrades. And for some reason, the game is very resource intensive. It's like it doesn't seem like this particular game should be this resource intensive, but it is. It is very, very hard on the processor, so there is lag from time to time. It's trying to run at 60 frames per second. I'm not really sure why, but that's why it's going to be a little laggy and a little choppy in some areas. Where do I need to go now? I think I need to go up to the next area, actually. I think I'm done with the brown area, the surface area. Alright, so now we're in a new area, little Misty Caves, which is kind of fun. That's a one-way door. There's no point going through there from this direction. So we'll go up here. There's like a shadow cat monster over here you have to kill because it's like black and it jumps out from the background at you. This is the only room in the game that scrolls both horizontally and vertically, so if I had to venture a guess, like I don't know the developers of this particular title. I'm not privy to any of their information or whatever, but most of the game is based on the original Metroid, which had corridors and rooms and vertical shafts, but that's it. So I think they just threw this one large room in just to show that their engine was capable of doing it, even though the particular style of game they were... What is this mess? Okay, whatever. That guy was having a spasm of some kind. But I think they did it just to show off, yeah, this is something that our engine can do. It just didn't fit the style of world we were going for the tech demo. So, there are not any more large rooms like that. This is actually the last major item in the game is the speed core, which lets me dash, and for some reason it lets me wall jump. I don't know why you need the speed core to wall jump. You'd think you'd be able to wall jump without it. You do need to backtrack a little bit to get some of these missiles here. So yeah, that's really it. That's all Samus' capabilities. You've got Morph Ball, bombs, and the speed core. And once you've got those 3 items, you're pretty much done with the game. So now it's just going to be running from here to the last boss. I think there's one more missile tank and one more energy tank I'll collect. So very much it's just, this is what you can do with this kind of engine. This is what these guys did. It's very impressive from a graphical standpoint. I think if they're going to make a longer game with it, if they're going to actually make a Metroid game, like a full-fledged, whole-world, you know, exploring secret passages, collecting super missiles, gravity suit, etc., 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 like balls-to-the-wall Metroid game, I think they do have to kind of hone their sense of Metroid gameplay a little bit more, because, like I said, the game is focused a lot on action. Monsters especially, most monsters are very hard to kill. They do a lot of damage, and you have to do a lot of damage to them in order to kill them. It's like, it seems like everything in this game takes a couple hits more than it should. Like those little slug monsters, you'd think that's the kind of monster you could kill in just 1 or 2 hits, but no, you've got to shoot them over and over and over again. And that's kind of how most of the monsters in the game, the last boss especially, is just grueling, has tons and tons of hit points. The game is very light on save points. Like, instead of getting a save point after every major area, you kind of only get 1 save point per area, to be honest. There's one over to the right, but I need to go down first to get my last energy tank. There's a missile refill over... you know what, I have full missiles, but yeah, again, you think that in this room here, you think they'd put an energy refill, but no, there's only 1 energy refill in the game, and that's the one that I went to in the brown area, in the very first area of the game. So after that, you are on your own. And then, of course, monsters can drop health, little purple globes they drop sometimes, but it is very, very rare, which is another thing I think they should have, they would have to change, is, because in most Metroid games, pretty much every monster drops something. As long as if you're missing any kind of health or missiles or anything, monsters will drop something. But not in Minitroid. In Minitroid, you pretty much just have to make it by the skin of your teeth. And of course, the spikes are horrible, so we will try to not land on the spikes. Oh, I landed on the spikes. That's no good. It doesn't help that I'm kind of running choppy here. That's too bad. Oh well. But you know what? I wasn't holding the run button either. So maybe I wasn't jumping as far as I needed to. God damn it, come on. I hate spikes so much. Now I need to kill this shadow cat thing down here. I will destroy it by shooting it in the back. Haha. And then you got these little flea monsters who explode into several pieces of shrapnel whenever you kill them. But the shrapnel is fast, and it goes in kind of random directions, so you pretty much can't dodge it. There's no reliable way to dodge that attack, which is too bad. Because that's one of the things I kind of look for in a Metroid game is, if you're skillful enough, you should be able to dodge any attack that monsters can throw at you. I don't think that that's too much to ask for in a Metroid game. So yeah, if they're going to expand the idea of Minitroid and make a full-fledged Metroid game out of it, I would like to see a little more care taken of those kind of aspects. We're off into the final area of the game now, already. I told you guys it was a short game. I told you guys it was going to be a real short run. This last area is a plant area called the Green Zone. And the goal is, there is a barrier you have to destroy. And in order to destroy the barrier, there are 4 little, like, plant control panel things that you have to destroy. You know, it's not running choppy. It must have just been that one area. I bet it was the mist effects that was doing it. The little misty thing. Yeah, I gotta kill this guy. He takes 2 missiles to kill. Yeah, you gotta destroy 4 of these things, and that'll open up the barrier to the final boss. Yeah, the game's running fine now that I'm out of the area with the mist effects. I wonder if there's a way to turn those off and make that whole area run well. These guys you gotta kind of sneak up on because they don't do anything unless you get really close to them. You can just sit there and shoot them all day and they actually deflect your shots. That's something new from any other Metroid game that I've played, is things will deflect your shots rather than just, you know, make a noise that lets you know that you... Oh, no, I don't want to go in there. That guy's hard to kill and takes a bunch of missiles. So there's one area of the game where the shot deflection thing is particularly comical. It's towards the end, so I'll show you. And yeah, those guys' projectiles too are very difficult to dodge. Those purple things, I don't think you can destroy them. Come on, that was dumb. Up, there we go. So anytime you have those guys with the purple bouncy ball projectiles, you're almost guaranteed to take a hit. Sometimes you get lucky and you don't, but it pretty much is all down to luck. Bomb jumping and wall jumping is very simple in this little engine, which is good because who wants to do difficult bomb jumping and wall jumping anymore? I'm actually doing pretty well on life. I've still got all my energy tanks filled. Now I need to go down here. Okay. It does baffle me how resource intensive this game actually is. Like, you wouldn't think it would push the processor as hard as it does, but hey, you know, whatever it's got to do to get its, like, cool little graphics, I guess. Run across the bridge here. And destroy this new plant core. You can kill them faster with missiles, but I need to save my missiles for the boss fight. And oh no, these things are here, but you can use your dash while you're in a ball and skip all those guys. Haha, nerd. See you guys later. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, those guys are like sub-bosses. They're tricky to kill, they take a lot of hits, they do tons of damage, and fighting them for any length of time is not very smart. Actually, reminiscent of the Metroid fights in Return of Samus on Game Boy, to be honest with you. That's kind of what they remind me of. I could go up to the right here and through that door and through a little area, but that's like 3 screens of nonsense and there's nothing over there. Except for lots of those little guys that belch out purple bouncy balls, so I'm just going to ignore it. And it dumps you out in that passage down there. Shots are being deflected, okay. Right here, these guys, you have to know where they are ahead of time, because they hide just off the top of the screen, and you need to get close enough to them to goad them out of their little shell, but not so close that you run into them. And the timing is not particularly easy. That took quite a bit of practice. I don't know of a good way to kill those guys other than let them grab you, so that's what I did. I'm sorry. See, I did make a cool little map. I think I will link it to in the video description because I'm actually pretty proud of it. My little Minitroid map. it looks like the kind of mini-map that a game like this would have, which is something else that Minitroid would need to have if they had like a full game. If they made a full game with it, you would need a mini-map, because if you don't have the game mapped out, it is very confusing. Lots and lots of little tiny rooms with tons of doors. Jump over the giant spike pit. See, I'll show you guys my map. It's pretty cool. You might dig it. Alright, now to fight these guys. There's a foolproof way to fight them. It did take me a while to... I messed it up. It took me a while to concoct the method of fighting them. But of course I had to mess it up. Of course I could not just put my best foot forward in the video. I played this game twice today, once to make the map and then once to do a test play for the video, and both times I killed those guys flawlessly, didn't take a hit, but did not happen. Now I fell in the spike pit, that ain't no good. Alright, now we got this guy. He takes a couple missiles, way more mini missiles than... Way more many. What a great sentence that was. No, he takes way more missiles to kill than you think he ought to. Like, the corresponding eyeball doors in Super Metroid, I think only took, like, 2 or 3. Well, you had Super Missiles in Super Metroid as well, and they only took 1 of those, so... Alright, final save point. And I've only got 5 missiles to fight this boss with, but... Unlike most bosses in most Metroid games, he is vulnerable to... regular shots. Isn't that hilarious how you can deflect shots and they'll just bounce off the door and off the boss like a ping pong game? This boss is very long and has a lot of forms, but his individual attacks are not difficult to dodge as long as you're careful. As long as you're careful and take it slow. And then if you die, it's not a big deal because there's a save point right outside. A hidden save point, so if you didn't find it, I guess you're out of luck, but... And when you reload a save, it gives you full health and missiles and everything, so you're good on that regard. Come on. Not a bad haul. So you need to damage the middle part, but he only comes out to play once in a while. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Come on. Go ahead and spit your gunk at me. I don't care. Okay, these guys are annoying. These guys you need to kill quickly. Because otherwise they start belching out little brown gray things that you cannot destroy. And are very difficult to dodge. Uh-oh. All the little things that he shoots will drop life and missiles and things, which is helpful. Alright, just one more of these guys up there. Would have to put the little briar patch right underneath the thing I'm trying to destroy. This guy's being really stubborn. Goodness me. Alright. There, hard part of the fight's over. Now it's just a matter of... Now it's just a matter of getting under him and pumping him with missiles. Yeah! Or regular shots, you know, whatever you got. I do need to play it kind of careful now, though, because, running a little low on health. A few more hits is all it'll take to do me in. But I think I've got him pretty close to dead, too. Uh-oh, last energy tank. Why am I not being careful? Yeah, you see what I mean about how this boss takes way too many hits? Like, if this was an actual Metroid boss, he would have been dead by now. No, leave me alone in my little corner that I was happy and safe and... Come on, which side are you gonna go to? Which side are you gonna go to? This side, huh? I'll take some life. Not the most exciting boss in the world. So I wonder if they've made other kind of like boss archetypes, or if they had to, or this is the only one they made. Because, I don't know, it's kind of a fun battle, I suppose, in a way, but like I said, a little too difficult maybe for, or not difficult, but a little too long-lived to be a well-balanced Metroid boss. What I'm getting at here is that I can't wait to play, fight Mini Ridley, basically. That'll be fun. So that was it. Actually, that was the whole game. That was Minitroid, the tech demo. Put a download link and stuff in the description, and I'll put my little map thing in case you don't feel like learning the game, but you just still kind of want to run through it. And that's awesome. That's very classy. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm Brickroad. I'll see you next mission.